So in this video, we're going to be checking out Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 plus 4 on the Nintendo Switch 2. Let me show you that it is, of course, on the Switch 2. It is a Switch 2 version, as you guys can see. Obviously, there's a Switch 1 version as well. But huge thanks to Activision for providing me with the code for the Switch 2 version. I actually bought it on PS5. I've been grinding a ton of guides on my other channel, youtube.com/JSkeleton. If you're into guides for this game, check out that on that channel because a lot of content. I mean, probably like 30 plus videos I've made in like just, the past couple days. But they provided me with a copy on the Switch 2 because I wanted to bring you guys some gameplay over on the Nintendo channel and showcase how does it look and play on the Switch 2. And I can give you guys my thoughts kind of comparatively as well because I've spent a lot of time on the PS5 version, and so I can give you guys my thoughts there as well. If you enjoy this, leave a like, subscribe for. Let's go ahead, jump into this. You can see we're at the main menu here. Also, I want to say, yeah, I got the game for free. I'm not obligated to say anything nice or anything. I'm gonna give you guys my true, honest thoughts and nothing else. I'm not expected to say anything or do anything except tell you guys that I got the game for free, legally speaking. And beyond that, it's just my own thoughts. So again, you can see the menu. The menu weirdly feels a little more, I don't know, it feels a little more sluggish than on the PS5 version. Again, I'm going to be comparing it to the PS5 version and then giving you guys my thoughts. Is this a good game in and of itself? If you only have a Switch 2. One thing I noticed that the UI and the character models, they're more fuzzy. It's a little more fuzzy. Like the way I would explain it is even though this is in 4K, and I'm recording this in 4K as well, you can watch this on a 4K display in 4K. Comparatively, the PS5 version actually looks like 4K, where the Switch 2 version, it kind of looks like I'm playing in 1080p. Which is a little bit weird. So I'm going to go to Career. We'll go to Foundry, do a little bit of Foundry. I did mess around a little bit real quick. So we can see some load times as well. If you want to see how it compares to the PS5 version, I got a bunch of PS5 gameplay on the channel. Or if you really want to see a side-by-side comparison, maybe I can make a video of that and you guys can see that. What I am noticing here is this kind of what is this called? A flyover, I think it's called, of the goals. This looks like it's lower frame rate, which is really, really weird. And when we first start off kicking at the very beginning here, I noticed this when I was kind of messing around a little bit. It looks like it's lower frame rate, but then once we get going here, the frame rate kind of kicks back up and it feels smooth again, a little bit smoother. I will say, I don't know, like, it's hard to say off the top of my head, but I feel like even while I'm skating around, the frame rate feels a little less smooth than on the PS5. And again, it's worth noting, I'm playing in fidelity mode on the PS5, not performance, meaning I'm not doing 120 hertz on the PS5. So it's just 60 FPS. I don't know what the frame rate is on here. I feel like it kind of feels like it's 60, but not 60. Like if I was to guess, I would say, oh, maybe this is like 40 to 50 FPS. It doesn't feel quite 30. But it doesn't feel quite 60. I don't know. You guys can see it for yourself, and you can, determine what you think. Maybe I'm just tripping out. It plays really good, though. Like, it's playing very, very well. It's very playable from what I'm experiencing here, and I don't have any issues with it. Besides, like I said, that weird kind of, at the beginning when it's doing a flyover and it feels kind of like a little more sluggish. I don't have any issues with it beyond that. Again, the visuals look a little bit more kind of iffy, if you will, like just a little less clear, a little less sharp. And again, you got to keep in mind though, right? I wouldn't really expect this game to look as good on the Switch 2 as the PS5 and Xbox Series X. Like that's like unreasonable expectations. You know what I mean? Like, I would never expect that. So it's kind of, maybe it's a little bit less than what I would have thought. But again, I've been playing so much on the PS5 version that I'm really used to that. So take that as you will. Let me see what kind of goals we have here. All right, I gotta get the secret tape. Let's do that as we kind of chat because I want to show a variety of different levels. So I'm going to do one more run here. But yeah, I mean, it looks, I'm going to restart that. Sorry. It looks good enough, I guess is what you could say. So let me put it this way. If you only have a Nintendo Switch 2, that's your only option. You're like, well, is this even a good enough version, or is this kind of like not good, so it's better just to skip out on it? I would say no. It's good enough. Like if all I had was a Switch 2, I'd be content with this. At least from what I'm experiencing right now. You know, we'll see as we kind of progress. I'll bring, you know, we'll do a little bit more gameplay here. But from what I'm experiencing, it's good enough that I would be happy with it if all I had was a Switch 2. Yeah, that's kind of my thoughts there. Is it as good as, you know, the more powerful consoles? Of course not. Of course not. And again, I don't expect it to be. I'm going to grind this. That's why I'm waiting here. And again, you can see, like, everything just feels... Yeah, I don't know. The character models feel like a little more dull looking. Everything, the textures in general... Okay, I just completely botched that. The textures in general just feel a little bit more dull, if that makes sense. I botched that again. Whatever, I give up. We're just going to move on to the next level, which is going to be Canada, which is nice because it's brighter, and we're going to get a little bit more sense for what's going on here. But, yeah, it's... sorry, I'm trying to remember what I was saying here. Load times, I will say, tiny bit slower than on my experience with the PS5, but not too bad. Honestly, not too bad. It's, again, it's all very doable. It's all... I think the bigger question is this. If you only have a Switch 2, it's a no-brainer. Get the game. It's great. It looks great. From what I'm experiencing here, from what I experienced a little bit, you know, before making this video, it's great. It's a solid version of the game, in my opinion, from my experience. The game's amazing. I love the game. Yes, in terms of the game itself, you know, no matter what console you get it on, people are upset that there's no career mode in THPS 4. If you don't look at this as a remaster and instead look at it as a remake, maybe that'll help. Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to, like, you know, say like, yeah, you know, great, it's fine. I would have preferred that we had the career mode as well, but I also prefer having a Tony Hawk game as opposed to not having a Tony Hawk game at all. You know what I mean? Because it feels like we had Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4, sorry, 1 and 2, and then Vicarious Visions got, you know, whatever the word is, absolved or whatever. And then, you know, we didn't have anything. And then there's just rumors of this game for like forever. And now it finally happened. And I'm like, yes, I want to see more of these games continue to come out. And like I said, if I look at this as a remake, I'm happy with it. You know what I mean? So there's that part. Now the question is, okay, again, if you only have a Switch 2, what do you make out of this? If you only have a Switch 2, do you get the game? Yeah, like I said, absolutely. I think it's 100% worth getting the game. It's not like one of those games where it's like, oh, this version is so bad that it's not even worth getting. Like, it's good. I'm playing it comparatively to, like, you know, the PS5 version. It feels good enough. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna end the run here, and we're gonna go to Rio in a second. But yeah, it feels good enough. Now the real question is, well, what if you have a PS5 or an Xbox Series X? That's where it gets a little bit more tricky, right? Because so it's worth noting on PS5 again. I was playing at 60 FPS. If you have a PS5 or an Xbox Series X or a high-end PC, and then you have a Switch 2. And you're like, well, what console should I get it on? If you don't care about the higher fidelity, which, you know, the other consoles are going to give you, and again, the frame rate feels slightly smoother on the PS5 for some reason. I don't know why, because this doesn't feel quite like it's 60 or 30, I meant, but it also doesn't feel like it's quite 60. It's weird. It's hard to explain. But yeah, if you don't care, if you don't mind that from what you're seeing here, then I would say it's a no-brainer. Get on the Switch 2. Why? Because it's portable. You know what I mean? The Switch 2 version, 100% in that case. If you really care about that, you know, that extra kind of fidelity and ensuring that you have the smoothest frame rate possible, then yeah, the PS5 or the Xbox Series X version is probably going to be the better version for you. It really depends, right, on what you prefer. I like the fact that this one's portable, and it's on my Nintendo Switch 2, right? Where it's like you already have everything else. You know, some people are gonna say like, well, I got like an Asus ROG Ally, or I got the Steam Deck, or whatever. Great, then maybe that's the better choice for you in that case. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. For me, I like having this game on the same console that I have all my Nintendo games on, and I think that's really cool, especially with the terms of portability. And like I said, there's the Switch 1 version as well. So for me, I also have a Switch Lite, which is nice. Which I don't actually know how this is. You know, now I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking like, how is this gonna play on the Switch 1 version? I would have to try that. Anyways, sorry, I digress. But the point being is this yeah, it's a solid version of the game. Like I said, it depends if you have multiple consoles. It really depends what your preferences are for a game like this. Do you want to have that portability and have it on the same console as your Switch 2 games? Do you rather have it higher fidelity, but you can only play it at home plugged in? PS5, Xbox Series X? That, again, that's for you to answer. All I can do is showcase some gameplay, give you my thoughts and impressions. Someone who's played many hours of the PS5 version, and then now, you know, playing some of the Switch 2 version, and you know, you take it from there. So that's kind of my thoughts. That's kind of my impressions. And in terms of the game, like I said, I like the game. I think it's a great game. Having a lot of fun with it. There's obviously, you know, some gripes. If I was I haven't reviewed the game yet, and I haven't really thought about a review score. I mean, I'd probably give this game like an 8-ish. You know, maybe slightly higher. I don't know. 8 seems fair. I feel like, which I feel like is what a lot of people are giving it, actually. I keep messing up my tricks, by the way, because number one, my muscle memory is tied to the PS5 controller. Number two, I've now adapted to having max stats because I've, you know, 100%ed the careers. And again, full guides for that on my other channel, youtube.com/JSkeleton. Also have guides for Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1+2 if you never played that and you plan to pick that up as well. Ton of guides. But yeah, I mean, a lot of fun, man. Massive roster of skaters. Like I said, Iron Galaxy did an amazing job with these levels. They did an amazing job making their own levels. Like I said, Pinball, I just bailed like an idiot. Pinball, you know, Movie Studio, and Water Park are really phenomenal maps, and it showcases the fact that Iron Galaxy is very capable of taking the reins, if you will, of this game and making it their own. So we got Suburbia. Okay, last one since we've unlocked Suburbia. Last one. We'll take a little tour around Suburbia to show you a little bit more of a wider showcase, and then maybe wrap it. Or you know what? We could actually, I could show you a little bit of, we'll show you a snippet of college. I probably won't do a full run here. I'll just do a little quick run. By the way, the music you're hearing is streamer mode music. So they have a whole other soundtrack that's royalty free. So, I mean, if you're a content creator as well, you know, there you have it. You know, there you have it. Yeah, so again, I'm looking at the textures in this map, especially. Well, not, I don't know why I said especially, but you know, yeah, it's not as sharp. The textures are a little bit more dull. They're a little bit more flat, but it's still a pretty solid looking game on the Switch 2, I think. I'm just used to playing it on the PS5 at this point. But I love that I have it, you know, a portable version. Like I said, if there's any other kind of videos, by the way, you want to see of this game on the Switch 2, do let me know. You know, if you want to see it in handheld mode, maybe. I'll have to figure out, you know, a little setup, get my camera set up kind of like a top-down shot so you guys can see that smoothly. Let me get the 6 score if I can. What is the 6 score here? I can't remember. Now, 200,000. That's easy. That's easy. I did a bunch of the harder challenges on my PS5 run where it's like you got to get like over 2 million, We unlocked airport as well. Okay, we're not going to airport. We're not going to go to airport. Let's see how long it takes to get back to the menu, and then maybe take a little quick snippet of college from THPS 4, since we don't have to go through all the challenges for THPS 3 to get there. So you can see a little bit of that game as well. And then put a pretty little bow on it at the end of this video. Again, I hope this is some use to you. Again, part of it's kind of like 2 birds with 1 stone, right? Part of it is showcasing the gameplay at the highest resolution that I can. Again, I'm recording this at high 4K resolution, you know, max frame rate. My capture device says it is capturing at 60 FPS, so there is that as well. Yeah, so you can see it takes a minute to load into these maps here. You know, yeah. Again, college. I've played it a bunch. Again, the only thing I can say, textures. It's just the textures are less smooth. That's it. You know, they're flatter. They're more dull. They're less sharp. That's pretty much it. But besides that, it looks good. It doesn't, you know, to me, it does not look like a Switch 1 game, necessarily. I would expect it to look a little, maybe less than this on Switch 1. I don't know. Again, I never played THPS 1 and 2 on the Switch. I only played it on PS5, so I don't have that to kind of compare it to, if you will. You know what I mean? So there is that. But yeah, I don't know. I like it. But what do you guys think? The shadows are okay, right? Shadows look okay. See a little bit of shadows here and there. Like I said, it's just the textures for me, you know, that are a little bit less. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just repeating myself at this point. Just kind of trying to fill in the space, I guess. Rant like a baboon. All right, let's just end this run here. We'll finish it up and call it a day. Let me try to get as much of an idea for you. You know what? I can do this. I remember where these are. I actually missed one back there though, but I missed one back here. I will say too, the Pro Controller feels pretty good. But I'm noticing that it's like the edges of the B button, the way I hold the B button. I hold the B button the B button. So that's like the jump button, the ollie button. I hold it in like the kind of the middle joint of my thumb. So then my thumb can be, you know, on the what is it? Y? Yeah, it's Y. For kickflips and stuff more easily. Flip tricks, whatever. And so it's not as comfortable. Because, like, again, normally I don't hold the B button like that on the Pro Controller. Because normally holding it with the tip of my finger if I'm playing any other game. But, yeah, that's an interesting tidbit I thought I'd mention. So, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments section below. This is, like I said, a quick look at Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3+4 on the Nintendo Switch 2. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, subscribe for more. Check out all the guides over on youtube.com/JSkeleton. And let me know if you plan to pick up this game, and if so, which console do you plan to pick it up on? And how are you liking it, if so? If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, till the next one. Game on. See you guys later.